Do you ever feel like you're starting your day on a debt? A debt of energy that no amount of coffee can seem to repay. You survive the morning in a fog, you get a brief burst of energy in the afternoon, and then you're too wired to sleep at night. This exhausting cycle, this feeling that your body's energy is completely out of whack with the demands of your day. It isn't a lack of motivation. It means your master biological clock is set to the wrong time. In this video, I am going to show you the most powerful, zero-cost, science-backed tool to reset that master clock every single morning. You're going to learn why just 10 minutes of a specific activity can dictate your energy levels for the entire day, and even control how well you sleep at night. We are the Sleep Protocol, and today we're going to teach you how to use light to set your biological time. Deep within your brain, located in an area called the hypothalamus, sits a tiny cluster of about 20,000 neurons known as the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN. Don't be fooled by its size. This nucleus is the absolute master clock of your biology. Think of it not just as a single clock, but as the master conductor of a vast biological orchestra. Every cell in your body, from your liver to your pancreas to your skin, contains its own peripheral clock gene. The SCN is what synchronizes every single one of them, ensuring they all play in harmony. This perfect 24-hour symphony is your circadian rhythm. It's this rhythm that dictates when you feel hungry by regulating hormones like ghrelin. It's what causes your body temperature to naturally drop at night to facilitate sleep and rise in the morning to promote wakefulness. But this masterful conductor is blind. It has no direct way of knowing what time it is in the outside world. If left on its own, your internal 24-hour clock would naturally drift later and later each day, putting you completely out of sync with the solar day. It needs a powerful, daily signal to anchor it to reality, to wind it and set it to the correct time. So what is that master signal? It isn't food, it isn't exercise, it isn't even sound. While those are secondary cues, the most powerful, evolutionarily conserved, and dominant signal for setting your master clock is light, specifically the wavelength and intensity of morning sunlight. When light enters your eyes, it isn't just for vision. It hits a unique class of specialized cells in your retina called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells, or iPRGCs. These cells are different. They contain a photopigment called melanosin. Think of melanosin as the specific light meter for your brain clock. These iPRGCs don't care about shapes or colors. Their one and only job is to detect the brightness and color of ambient light and communicate this information directly via a dedicated neural pathway straight to your SCN, your master clock. It's the dedicated express train to Grand Central Station, bypassing all the local stops. And when that bright, blue light-rich morning signal arrives at the SCN, it triggers two non-negotiable critical events that will define the entire architecture of your day. Event number one, it triggers a healthy, perfectly timed spike in cortisol. Now, as we've explored in the video you see on the card, cortisol at night from chronic stress can destroy your sleep. But in the morning, cortisol is your best friend. It's the get up and go hormone, an activation signal. That timed pulse of morning cortisol is a neurological wake-up call that floods your system. It is what breaks the chemical chains of sleep inertia. It sharpens your focus by increasing glucose availability to the brain. It elevates your mood. It literally prepares your body for the physical and mental stress of the coming day. Viewing morning sunlight is like pressing the launch button on your day. Snoozing that wake-up call by staying in a dark room means you're not just delaying the cortisol spike, you're flattening its curve. The peak becomes weaker and spread out over hours. That feeling of being in a mental fog until lunchtime, that is what a flattened cortisol peak feels like. It's like driving a high-performance car with watered-down gasoline. There's simply no power, no get up and go. Morning sunlight provides the high-octane fuel for your wake-up sequence. But here is the most elegant, the most profound part of this entire biological process. That very same pulse of morning light that triggers your wake-up call also, paradoxically, guarantees your sleep later that night. It does this by starting a countdown timer. When your SCN receives that bright morning light signal, it communicates directly with a deep brain structure called the pineal gland. And the message is simple and clear. The sun is up. Turn off the melatonin spigot now and set a timer to turn it back on in 14 to 16 hours. This is the beautiful biological secret that most people miss. You cannot have a robust, timely release of melatonin at 10 p.m. if you don't have a robust, timely morning light signal at 7 a.m. The start of the day dictates the start of the night. By getting that bright light in the morning, you're creating the biggest possible difference between your day state and your night state. It creates a powerful amplitude in your circadian rhythm. If you don't get that morning signal, the timer never starts properly. Your brain never gets a clear start signal, so it never knows when to give a clear stop signal later. This is the root cause of feeling tired but wired at 11 p.m. Your melatonin release is weak, delayed, and spread out because its starting gun was never fired correctly. For hundreds of thousands of years, this system was flawless. Our ancestors woke up with the sunrise, and their biology was perfectly synchronized with the planet. But today, we have engineered an environment that actively works against this elegant system. We live in dim caves we call homes and offices. We wake up and stare at the relatively dim light of a phone, which is thousands of times less intense than actual sunlight. We commute in cars, blocking more light. We work under standard office lights that are pathetically dim compared to the outside world, even on a cloudy day. We are literally starving our master clock of its most important and powerful nutrient: bright, natural, full-spectrum light. So with this knowledge, how do we manually take control and reset our clock every single day? The solution isn't complicated, but it is precise. Here is the non-negotiable protocol for optimal circadian health. Your goal is to get 10 to 30 minutes of direct, natural sunlight viewed with your eyes without sunglasses, and within the first 60 minutes of waking. Every part of that sentence is a critical variable, so let's break down the rules of engagement. Rule number 1, it must be viewed with your eyes, and do not wear sunglasses or prescription lenses that have UV or blue light blocking. Remember those specialized melanocyte cells in your retina? They are most sensitive to the specific blue and yellow light wavelengths that are most abundant in low solar angle morning sunlight. Sunglasses, and even many modern eyeglasses, are specifically designed to filter out this exact light. By wearing them, you're robbing your brain of the very signal it's desperately looking for. You need to let the raw data from the outside world enter your system unfiltered. Rule number 2, it must be done outside. You cannot do this through a window. This is a common point of failure. While the light inside your home may seem bright, the intensity, measured in a unit called lux, is pitifully low. A well-lit room might have 500 lux. Looking out a window might give you 1,000 to 2,000 lux, but the moment you step outside, even on a cloudy day, you're exposed to 10,000 to 25,000 lux or more. That massive increase in intensity is the powerful jolt your SCN needs to confidently start the day's timer. Glass windows filter out a huge portion of the relevant spectrum and intensity. Get outside. And rule number 3, a cloudy day is not an excuse. Don't look outside, see clouds, and assume the protocol is off for the day. Those critical blue and yellow wavelengths are powerful enough to penetrate cloud cover. The total lux value will be lower than on a sunny day, which simply means you need to adjust your duration. If 10 minutes is your goal on a bright, sunny day, extend that to 20 or even 30 minutes on an overcast day to get a comparable biological signal. The signal is always there. Sometimes you just need to listen a little longer. This is truly one of the simplest but most profoundly impactful protocols you can implement. because it doesn't just change your morning, it architects your entire 24-hour cycle. And because of that, I want to propose more than just a question. I want to propose an experiment. For the next 7 days, I challenge you to follow this protocol religiously. Be a scientist of your own biology. Change nothing else about your routine. Not your diet, not your exercise, not your bedtime. The only variable you change is dedicating those first minutes of your morning to viewing sunlight. Then I want you to come back to this video and document your findings. Don't just say it worked. Share your story. Describe that specific feeling of brain fog on day 1. How many cups of coffee did you need? And then tell us, by day 5 or day 7, did that change? Did you notice your energy dip in the afternoon become less severe? And most importantly, did you start to feel naturally sleepy at a more consistent time at night? Your personal data, your 1-week experiment, could be the evidence that empowers a dozen other people in this community to finally step outside and reset their own clock. For more protocols that teach you how to use your environment to control your biology, make sure you subscribe. Your journey to better sleep starts now. Welcome to the Sleep Protocol.